exclusive here at Goddard Park at the Cool Cat Karaoke. Missy's funky white sister is in the park!
Tell me why are we so blind to see that the ones we hurt are you?
Is your
The question is, how much is it going to cost? St. Petersburg is the newest city to be chosen to be transformed into a smart city. It's a push to change the way that neighbors in the area live, work, and play. Under a 3-year grant, Spectrum will provide wired and wireless network services focused on the St. Pete Innovation District. Local leaders want to use these new resources to create advanced applications and services that address local needs, including infrastructure, workforce development, public safety, education, and community health.
As pilot projects occur, we will gain insight about what works for our community. Then we can expand those programs throughout the region and share with other cities. We have the Smart Streetlight Project, which will be equipped with sensors, and then an online marine science education program where we're going to be having researchers in the field and out on research vessels connected to kids and our Boys and Girls Clubs here in the community.
St. Petersburg joins 26 other cities in the program, which was launched by US Ignite. That nonprofit is working to speed up the smart city movement.
Fat body bitch, you ping pong paddle body bitch. Use a taco body bitch, Johnny Bravo body bitch.
17 years old, I was deployed into the covert military space program, sent to Mars for 17 years.
Sent to Mars?
Yes.
How were you sent to Mars?
We were put onto a transport ship, and then that ship took off from Luna Operations Command on the moon, and then that ship went through a wormhole to Mars, so the whole trip, took a few minutes.
What is the 20 and back program?
You deploy someone for a 20-year tour of duty, and then you return them. They basically have to hatch you out a new clone that's the same age that when you left, and transfer your soul and your consciousness. The soul is actually a quantum fluid dynamic. It can be removed from one vessel and put into another.
Was it done to you? Was this body made in a laboratory?
Yeah, hatched out of a clone.
You are a Quasimodo body bitch.
The majority of African Americans that lived here were brought over here.
Bitch, sit down.
No,
That's not economically sound.
What do you mean by it's not economically sound?
Sit down. Be humble.
So what I'm saying is, people were already here.
Bitch.
Does it make sense to go all the way to this other continent to bring people on a boat when we know that half of your stock is gonna die?
Bitch.
You wouldn't do that.
So how many people do you think were brought over from Africa on slave ships? Because that definitely happened.
I don't believe it.
What do you mean you don't believe it?
Soprano C, we like to keep it on the high note.
I don't believe that story. You think this whole land was empty? No, there were natives here.
Right.
But today we're taught that natives is some other people. No, natives are the melanated African being that has come here since the beginning of the Mali Empire. We're talking about 14th, 13th century. We had already come here from Africa.
Really?
It's levels to it, you and I know. Bitch, be humble.
Bitch.
Oh yeah, we had already come here. Maybe people were brought over as slaves, but I don't think that the black people in America came from Africa on slave ships. I believe the people that were here were slowly conquered. First they got the East Coast, and then they started spreading out west little by little, conquering. And when you conquer a tribe, what do? You enslave them. They're POWs. Right?
Okay.
That's what you do.
But I'm still confused. There's a great history of slave ships being brought over from Africa.
Sit down. Be humble.
History is his story.
Right.
What about my story? Is my story not valid?
But if you do 23andMe on...
I like this. It says W human. Well, I'm old, so this made no sense at all. So I replied, I don't understand that. And several people said it's okay, actually, it's a good thing. W for win or winner. So basically they're saying they really liked the video and that I'm a winner. I love the generational gap. When I was your age, our grandparents lived in a different world. Now I'm one of the grandparents. I look on your world with great fondness. It's amazing.
From out,
23 and me.
Well, that's
Either way, if you take black people here in America and you do their DNA sample and it point back to Africa, what does that say? It says black people in America are Africans. Now, the argument is, were we brought here or were we already here? Did we bring ourselves here or did the white man bring us here?
Sit down. Be humble.
You see, when you say the white man brought us here, what you're doing is you're removing our ability to transport ourselves. You're saying, oh, we didn't know anything about boats.
And now I'm sure there's a lot of Africans that got the gospel and they're in heaven right now because they got the gospel.
That's what you're trying to tell me. You're trying to tell me that we didn't know that there was a landmass here. Go look at the primary source. You got here, we met black people. When we got the Caribbean, we met black people. You think the Caribbean is right next to America and they weren't in America?
Sit down. Be humble.
That's interesting.
Doesn't make any sense. I mean, when you go and you look at real European history, would believe that if they took a bath, it was bad.
right.
They didn't even want to change their clothes. They thought that dirty was purity. When we talk about the Moors going into Spain and into Europe, the stories in the history, our history, says that when we met the so-called Caucasian, he was sleeping in the barn with the animals.
Meow. 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 Meow.
And we told him, no, you can't sleep in the barn with animals.
It's Folgers in your car.
See? I smelled it. He's back.
Ryan, you have to leave.
What? What are you guys talking about? We know what's going on here. We know you're trying to each other.
What? No. Oh, please. Brothers and sisters don't look at each other like that.
He sent you to West Africa for a reason, Ryan, to separate you and your sister.
You're crazy! Oh, yeah? What's this?
He's my present this year.
Jesus Christ.
Okay.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
I'm your son, and I'm in love with your daughter.
Oh! Ryan, what is in that box?
What's in the box, Ryan?
It's mine.
Give it. Unbelievable.
Holy shit.
Emily, I love that we have so much in common because we grew up together. And I just want to wake up every morning to the smell of you and Folgers Colombian dark roast. Emily, will you make me the happiest brother?
We taught them etiquette. We taught them running water. We brought that technology to Europe. Now, if we brought the technology to Europe that saved Europe from the Black Plague, you mean to tell me that if we saved the white race, that we weren't already in America already? When we brought the technology? When Rome was dependent on Africa for food? Remember when the Black Plague hit Rome? The cause was one of the officials was stealing the grain that was coming from Africa. So there was famine, hit Rome. If your source of sustenance is from Africa, how are you superior?
Sit down. Be humble.
You're not. You get your food from me. Bitch. So if you get your food from me, who's more likely to travel this globe? Me, I'm the source of food. And that's the first thing you need to survive on this planet.
100 years later, the Negro is still languishing in the corners of American society and finds himself in exile in his own land. Now, have you ever wondered what that passage meant from Martin Luther King's I Have a Dream speech? I did, and what I found was one of the biggest secrets that's not really a secret at all, except to many African Americans, is they are not descended from Africans. I know, I was shocked too, so much so that I asked Africans, and they agreed African Americans weren't Africans. If you don't believe me, Google Arnaldus Montanus America and see the people he saw in 1671. Read books like The Black American Handbook for Survival Through the 21st Century by Radine Amin-Ra, What Every African American Should Know by Carrie Davis, and Africans and Native Americans by Jack Forbes.
What is Christian math? Okay. Roll the clip.
Americans that were brought over into slavery, which wasn't right, but they got the gospel when they got here. And you know what? I bet you there's a lot of Africans that if they hadn't have been brought over, not saying it was right, don't misunderstand, not justifying the slavery in the situation, but God, I still believe, used it. And now I'm sure there's a lot of Africans that got the gospel and they're in heaven right now because they got the gospel. You know, what would be better? For them to have lived their entire life in Africa free, doing their voodoo or whatever, and then dying and going to hell, right? Or what happened? And then they go to heaven. They get the opportunity. Now, again, it doesn't justify it. The ends do not justify the means, but this is how God works.
This might not look familiar to you, but this is the future that's being built for you by the ruling class. This is what they mean by a sustainable future. These are your 15-minute city smart grid apartments designed to be tiny little cages for not-so-free-range humans. China is the blueprint of the smart grid system, so you only have to look at what's happening there to know what's going to be heading here. Every single movement of every citizen is recorded 100% of the time to monitor their social credit score. Anyone who misbehaves or will not comply with the regime is socially shamed and punished by removal of access to public facilities. Anyone who is friends with them on social media gets punished as well by removing points from their social credit score. This is how you train humans like puppies to be good boys and girls. Coming to a smart city near you, sponsored by Klaus Schwab, the World Economic Forum, and BlackRock.
I just dropped like 150 milligram edible, and I'm feeling fucking zooted.
This woman has come with a problem. One of her hands is shorter than the other. Look at that! This is incredible! Her left hand is growing.
What's a conspiracy theory that you 1,000% believe in?
The agenda to force this upon you without question. This is a woman. No matter what you say, this is a woman. You can't say anything about it, or you can go to jail for it. Has nothing to do with trans rights and making trans people feel good about themselves. It has everything to do with rolling this into the White House without asking questions about what the hell that is. Said what I said.
I just got a sex change. It's already infected. It smells like shit and decay. Really good chance I'm gonna take my life one day. At least I'll get more attention than all those normie gays. It's a damn shame what the world's gotten to when a creature like me believes that it's true that he could just wake up and not be a dude. But he is. Oh, he is. Living as a new girl with a Y chromosome.
How many genders are there? 2. And they are?
Male, female.
But what about someone's right to tell you what their gender is?
No problem at all. So it's you, you're going to tell me what your gender is, but in the world is less fucked world, I don't have to believe it, but I'm thrilled for you. You're a lampshade. I'm so happy. Let me put a light bulb up your arse. Brilliant. Don't require me to think what you think.
If a Caucasian has a body mass more than 25, then he'll start running into problems. He's getting overweight now. South Asians, 23. 23! Your body mass index needs to be less than 23. Your blood pressure needs to be less than 130/85. A Caucasian can handle 140/90. You can't. You need to know this. So when you go to a doctor, it's not one treatment for all, which is what we tend to do. South Asian walks into my office, a black guy walks in there, a Hispanic walks in there, a Caucasian walks in there, everyone will treat them all the same way. You can't do that. You see, so if a Chinese guy has high blood pressure, he's going to get a stroke, a hemorrhagic stroke, at the same blood pressure that the Caucasian will have nothing wrong. And at that same blood pressure, the poor black guys, they get kidney failure. Go to the dialysis center, you'll see it. So these are ethnic genetics that cause different phenotypes with the same degree of disease. Something going on here because we are all made different. Your genetic background is totally different than the genetic background of Caucasians or Latinos or blacks. They all have their problems. So when a black guy comes into my office, I'm really worried about his blood pressure, and the first test I'm going to order is a kidney test because his creatinine is already elevating at 140/90. The Chinese guy that walks in, and if he says, I got this intense headache here, he's got a stroke, he's got a hemorrhage. So you got to know some of these things.
Crystals don't even look charged.
Okay, that's how you're gonna project?
What time were you born?
March 16th, 3:33 a.m.
Oh, that makes sense.
You look like your acid is hydrochloric.
You look like you bathe.
Okay, wow.
This guy doesn't even know the 4 agreements. Don't purchase from him.
You don't even look present. You're past.
You probably think cacao is just chocolate.
Not even a sound bath could clean you up.
I bet you don't even barter. You just ask people for money. Capitalist.
Feminist only meeting. Why are you guys in this meeting? It's for women only.
I'm actually a woman. 2023,
identify?
you know? We're just here to learn more about feminism, the culture and stuff, you know?
I don't think you're actually a woman. I really don't have time for this trolling. Like, we're trying to have a real meeting
Wow.
here. Do you understand that?
Now you don't think we're real women? Yeah, that's kind of
You guys are just two boys.
We're grown women. So now you're misgendering us. It's just Bob and JJ popping in to learn more about feminism. We're just trying to learn about feminism and you're just...
Okay, so you're feminist, alright? So what's the first thing you even know about feminism?
Men have no rights, and that's obvious. On her. Like...
It's not that men don't have rights, it's that men have not been treating women equally in their entire lifespan. So I doubt that you two know anything else about treating...
Okay, you can mute. I think I'll be taking over the meeting now.
No. You need to
JJ.
get out of my meeting. Part of these hijacking trollers, you guys are not even allowed here. You guys are not even women. Get out.
Miss, we are grown women. You need to stop misgendering us? Thank you, Bob. That was beautiful.
Obviously, you're not respecting the fact that I am a woman here along with Yasmin. Yasmin, are you there? Yasmin, please.
You were probably born in a hospital. That's why you're all messed
Do
up.
me a favor. Close your eyes.
Okay.
Okay, so now all 3 of your eyes are closed.
I didn't choose the shamanic life. The shamanic life chose me. Spirit revealed my dharma to me on a hop A macrodose at a Coachella after party in Joshua Tree. Instantaneously, I became a shaman. Later that night, I held my first ceremony with whatever was left over from the after party. 4 people came. 4 people were healed. Since then, I've been absolutely crushing the ceremony game. Don't believe me? I currently have a 4.9 star rating on TripAdvisor. People in the Los Angeles metropolitan area tell me that my ceremonies are lit as fuck and that I am not capping. In fact, I've become so good at the shamanic business, I'm in contractual negotiations to start franchising. Some people might call it destiny, others, gross cultural appropriation and profiteering. But me, I call it medicine, and the medicine speaks through me because I'm a fucking shaman.
Probably no magic, but it's like bad magic. I bet you're bad at magic.
Mother Ayahuasca called. She said she wants her shirt back.
You can't even spell Ram Dass.
A study that was done in the 1960s, and it was really commissioned by NASA because they wanted to know how to hire more geniuses. So they hired George Land and his team to go out and figure out like what makes a genius. So they started with a group of 5-year-olds and they gave them a creativity test. So the way they defined genius was, how do you use your creative imagination to solve problems? And what they found was, of this group of 5-year-olds, 98% qualified as geniuses. Then they came back 5 years later when this group was 10 years old, and it was down to 30%. 5 years later at 15, it was down to 12%. And then I think they just kind of gave up in like disgust. But George Land took it further and went out and surveyed adults and found that only 2% of adults. And the thing that's also very interesting is he attributed this to school. 100% to school, that you would take a population, 98% genius, and dumb them down to 2%. And one of his quotes that I love is he said, uncreative behavior and thinking is learned.
I've done workshops to cleanse this type of energy.
Oh, okay.
So you can have this for free because I'm a nice person.
Yeah?
Okay, here come the food. God damn. Took all What the fuck, man? Bro, you always see this when I be talking about. You always talking about got these Donkey Kong ass bananas over here and some cocaine. I didn't ask to come here. I could have took McDonald's any fucking. What is these doggy treats? What this nigga think I'm a dog? Bro, it's time for me to go ahead and go home. I'm finna order Global Eats or something. This is bullshit. No. Stop. Man, listen. Hey, listen. The end of this better be the beginning of it. I promise you. Or you ain't my friend no more. You keep bringing me to weird places, bro. I'm starting to really, I'm questioning the whole friendship right now because you wildin'. Where's we at? You said the name of it was what? Because I'm finna leave them a badass fucking review. I'm mad as hell.
Mr. He's carrying a pumpkin.
I'm making pumpkin wine. I saw my grandma making it every year when I was a kid. Let me out and I will show you the magic. Grind a wine yeast ball. Pour the yeast powder into these holes. Then seal the holes with bubble gums.
Our grandma used to chew the bubble gums.
She used the clay, but bubble gum should work the same. Then just wait for 3 days. 3 days later, the pumpkin is as soft as my belly. We can take it apart with our bare hands. Oh, our bare hands.
Wow.
Remove the seeds. Juiciest pumpkin ever. Scoop the pumpkin flesh into the bag. Squeeze out the pumpkin wine. Now enjoy.
A second. Safety first because it's made by Mr. He.
Huh?
Transfer the pumpkin wine into mason jars. Steam for 5 minutes. Now we can store them for a longer time.
Lobsters were only fed to slaves, prisoners, poor people, because they're like big roaches. Most crustaceans are bugs that live in the water, right? Just like bugs on land. In the northern Atlantic region, they used to just wash up on the shores and be crawling around, and the poor people would like sneak and go grab them at night to eat them because they didn't want to get caught eating ocean roaches because they would have got made fun of. But then when the railroad was invented, they started shipping them to other parts of the country. They marketed these big roaches as delicacies, and they lied and said that people in Boston loved these and only the rich people ate them, and then people in other parts of the country ate that up and they started to enjoy it. And then it started to become a delicacy even in places like Boston where there were tons of them. It was all just a elaborate marketing scheme.
Okay, so I think I just found the most despicable headline I have ever seen in my entire life. Now, this isn't brand new, but it's floating around the internet here, so I thought I'd talk about it. This is absolutely absurd. Somebody in Goldman Sachs basically reached the conclusion, it would be more profitable to let people stay sick and eventually die than curing the disease. This just feels like a profoundly evil conclusion to reach. Like, you did all this research and that's what you came up with.
You oral sex! Use oral sex! Let that sperm of that man out!
A demon came with his penis.
Oop. It actually looks like it didn't go through. Did you want to try again? Because it got declined.
Is it me? Or did you say that kind of loud? You said that kind of loud, yeah. That was crazy. Nah, that was crazy of you. Because you just put me on blast like that. Nah, because it seemed like you blew up some steam when you said that. You said that with your chest. Yeah, let me see. What if let me try it again. I'm gonna try it again, and then what if this time we keep it between you and me? Like if it does that again, let's keep it between you and me, and then and see where we go. Yeah? Let me see.
Okay, all set.
Why'd you whisper that part? Nah, see, that's why you're foul. Nah, because when it got declined, you said that with your chest. Nah, say it went through. Say it went through with the same energy. Oh, you see why that's frustrating? Oh, nah, give me my card. Guys, mal, pero bien mal. Nah, casi usas el intercom when it got declined. Ugh.
So,
It's just a half hour. You can do this. Don't do anything weird.
and since then, my private part has been itching.
It's been itching?
Yes.
Hey! Who are you? Who are you? Who are you? Who are you? Speak! Who are you? Check! Who are you? Look at that demon! Look at that demon! Look at that demon!
Right about now, you're about to witness the sea walk of
be incredible. Keep it gangsta, dog. Keep it gangsta. 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 I wanna thank you all. I wanna thank you. I wanna thank you all. I wanna thank you. Keep it gangsta, dog. Keep it gangsta. Keep it gangsta, dog. Keep it gangsta.